Okay, new episode of Sword Talk. In fact, if you notice, the shirt's the same as as the Wakasashi one on the Shogun Wakasashi. It's because I'm filming this minutes after I completed that one because I'm excited about the two Tantos that I've just gotten in. I still have three clients out there that are getting this who are we're searching for Tantos specifically for them. Everyone else, I have no items on your wish list. So these are just educational pieces for you. But there are three out there that said, "Look for a Tanto for me," and I got two in. This first one is unusual, and I always look for something that I've either never seen before or it's going to be really, really unusual. Um, this is called Oganki, which means golden wood. But first, let me tell you what's the story behind the story here. There's a reference book. Some of you have this, and if you do, it's probably because I bought it for you. And now I'm going to be in trouble for the people who said, "Hey, you never bought me this book." It's one of the great reference books on samurai swords. It's absolutely great. It has everything about hamons and stuff, terminology. It also has tri-fold outs of swords in museums that are actual size. It's great. Anyway, beautiful quality, great book. The cover of the book, this particular sword, which is in Japan's most famous samurai museum. I don't have this sword. In fact, this particular sword is considered national treasure. It cannot ever be, by law, when it's considered national treasure, it can never be removed from Japan. So somebody can buy it, they just have to keep it in Japan. You can always say, "I own it." It's at the what is it? It's at the Fukuyama Art Museum. But all right, so what's important about that particular sword? Well, everyone knows who Masamune was, or you should. He's the legend. He's the greatest swordsmith, 13th century swordsmith who ever lived, and we only have a limited number of his swords. This is not that sword is not a Masamune sword. He's the holy grail. Everyone's hoping to find a Masamune sword in somebody's attic, a long forgotten piece. It ain't going to happen. But there are very few existing swords from this, the greatest master of all time. Masamune trained 10 people. They're called the 10 disciples. The guy who did that sword is one of his disciples, and so very, very famous. He in turn trained this guy. So this is the disciple of and his name was Oshisai, and very, very famous guy, and he trained a limited number of people in his lineage. So the guy who did this sword is his guy. So I had to have his sword. It's a Tanto, excellent hamon, very, very nice, elegant piece, solid silver collar habaki. But what you probably noticed already, and what gives it its name of golden wood, is the gold brass, engraved brass. Let me put it back in for you so you can kind of see it. On the entire piece. It's the tendrils of a plant with some, which is a Buddhist symbol in itself of long life, and it's beautifully done. Very nice piece. So that just came in, and that's got a rather nice uniqueness to it. But the other Tanto that just came in in a beautiful red bag. This is called Imperial Lord. This is from the court of, oopsie daisy, of another emperor. It's the Polonia crest, and that's all embossed here on both sides of the saya. It's in Aikuchi style, Tanto, which means no tsuba. It's direct. It has beautiful manuki in the form of the crest. It has a beautiful kozuka, and the kozuka, which, as we remember, is a utility knife. Let me pull this out. Hide the blade for you for now. The kozuka, again, I have to buy something that's unique. It's unique because it has golden blade, brass blade. And the golden mons or crest, this little mark at the end, which looks like a heart, is called Buddha tears. And the shape at the end, hard to see on these videos, rather than just a flat glossy, is it's a Buddhist design. It comes in a little curlicue type thing. So the kozuka, and again, if you remember from these shows, the blades do not survive. The collections around the world of all the museums are of the handles. That's what people collect. Also, what's nice is on the interior of the kozuka, it's finished off in that gold color. These are normally just black enamel because nobody sees it. This is one of those things where you know it's there. Also, if we remember, this is on the inside of your body because these are carried on your left side. So very rare to have something that's that well done. This is, I should have had all this ready, right? Don't chastise me. Fortunately, I have the books. This, of course, also comes with, as all my antiques do, with the full certification. This is from 1532, so it has great, it is old. It's old, and it's Tsunehiro, a pretty well-known swordsmith of the time, and the blade. The blade has Buddhist symbols of warrior symbols, and also long life, bungee symbols. It has a gold habaki, nice standard habaki, nicely aged and nice patina on the manta ray skin, but also just a really pretty sword. And we have a nice black stand for it too that comes with it, with a engraved plaque here, so you can keep that on your desk. I like the Tantos and the Wakasashis because they don't have to be kept in the display cabinets, which we can custom do for you. More and more, I'm getting calls for Tantos because people like to keep them out and displayed. So these are. Oh, the other thing about this piece, again, part of these talks are for educational purposes. They all come in wakasashis, okay, and I put them together because in the West, a sword has a handle, but to these collectors, and even when they're kept in the families, they come in shirasaya, and that means that there's a wooden blade. That the real blade is in here. That's how it's stored. The real blade's in here, and then the wooden blade is in here where the fittings are to keep it together, because you need a blade to keep it together. So obviously I put them together because the Western audience wants it all together, but collectors keep the blade separate. When you see a Shirasaya built like this with inlaid black wood and an inlaid Fushikashira on it like that, that's, I don't want to overuse the word rare. 1 in 1,000, 1 in 5,000. That's not that rare, is it? But that's the way it's. If it's done that way, you got yourself a good blade, and somebody made sure that the custom Shirasaya reflected that it was done a little bit more than just a plain wooden handle. This is called Imperial Lord of the Imperial Court. Again, 525 years old. Pretty nice. Nice blade. So, Tanto. Well, that's it for today. I've got nothing on back order for antiques. And I'm still hoping to have some news about an exhibit around Christmas time. Still negotiating with 2 galleries about doing that. So those of you who are nearby or somewhat nearby can come down to Carmel or out to Carmel to kind of see the show. All right. That's another episode of Sota. Thanks. Bye-bye.